Well, good afternoon. My name is James Mallory. I'm Director of Marketing at E2B Technologies, publishers of Anytime Commerce. And today we're going to be talking about B2B e-commerce profiles and success. So without further ado, let's dig into the webinar today. The first part, we're going to walk through kind of some of the differences between business to business and business to consumer e-commerce. Talk about some of the benefits of automating your online orders with an e-commerce storefront. And then we're going to actually profile a couple of our customers and just show you some things that they're doing, maybe give you some tips and tricks on things that you can do in your own business. So first of all, this is an interesting statistic that we have found. 45% of contact center calls are non-transactional inquiries. Back there. Those are inquiries for customers that are asking simple things. Do you have the product in stock? What's my price and where's my order? These are all things, obviously, that could be automated or put onto an e-commerce storefront for self-service. You log into a site, well, how many are in stock? If you log in as a user, you're going to be seeing, you expect to see your price. And then obviously tracking your order, has it been shipped, what's the shipment tracking number, etc. Average cost to process an order manually via phone is $33. Email orders are $10, and e-commerce orders are $1. It makes sense, right? So if you have 100 phone orders you're taking a year, you're going to save $3,200 every year just by having an e-commerce storefront. Same if you're processing 100 email orders, you're going to save about $900 a year just in the sheer cost of manually managing that order. So a lot of benefits around B2B e-commerce to be had. These are just a couple of the examples. Lots of options out there. If you're looking for e-commerce, you go type it into Google, you're going to find all these companies here at the bottom. Most of these companies specialize in business to consumer. A lot of focus in these types of shopping carts around search engine optimization. Almost no support for on-account sales. They pretty much all force you to pay with a credit card. You have limited ability to customize your product categories. Not really designed if you're working through sales reps or third-party distributors that want to go on and place orders on behalf of their customers. The back office integration to the ERP system is typically either non-existent or very weak. And there literally are hundreds of options available on the market. And that's not what we provide with our Anytime Commerce piece. Our Anytime Commerce product is more of a platform specifically designed for the business-to-business e-commerce storefront. Just a couple more differences here. In a B2B environment, we're really focused around relationships, right? We have outstanding relationships, existing relationships with our e-commerce users, where in business to consumer, it's more product driven. If you look at the market, B2C is very broad, B2B is very small and targeted. The buying process in B2C is often very short and sweet. Think about your experience with Amazon.com. You go there, you buy something, you're done. You might come back time and time again, but you're typically going to be making that decision to buy very, very quickly. Where in a B2B environment, you might have complex capital equipment or complex products that are going to require a longer cycle time on the sale. Pricing in B2C, typically standard pricing. In B2B, you want to see the customer's negotiated contract pricing. Shipping. You get into a B2C environment, you're looking at common carriers, UPS, FedEx, United States Postal Service. Get into B2B, and a lot of that stuff won't fit in a box and is not easily shipped. So you're looking at common carriers, you're looking at less than truckload, you're looking at your own fleet of delivery trucks. From a user perspective, in B2C, obviously it's consumers. And in B2B, you're going to have a number of different types of users. It could be your business customers. Could be your sales reps, whether they're internal or external. Could be brokers, dealers, distributors. Really a whole slew of folks that could be accessing your system. B2C, typically one time. You know, a lot of us go back and forth to our favorite sites like Amazon, but if you're looking for specialty items on a B2C site, you're typically going to make a one-time purchase there. Where in B2B, you know, these are companies that are coming back to our site over and over and over again, placing repeat orders. Order totals in B2C are typically very low, around $100 or less per transaction. In a B2B environment, that could actually be tens of thousands of dollars in repeat orders. Fulfillment, B2C, they often utilize a third-party fulfillment provider. And in a business-to-business environment, it's typically your own warehouse where you're doing the fulfillment. From an order processing standpoint in B2C, you know, you're either going to manually import these orders that you get every day into your accounting system, where in a business-to-business environment, timing is a little more important, and what you're going to probably do there is you're probably going to want to automate the online order and the creation of the order in the ERP system so that you can send the invoice, so that you can manufacture the item, pick, pack, and ship the item. And I just want to remind everybody on the webinar today, you get what you pay for. This is really a really bad example, and obviously none of you would want to have something like this on your website, but there are good ways to do e-commerce and there are bad ways to do e-commerce. So if you're looking for a low-cost provider, that's not going to be us. It's not going to be most of our competitors. There are sites out there, free shopping carts, etc., that are probably a better option for you. But if you want something that's truly professional, truly unique to your business, then you've come to the right place. So let's talk about some of our customers and what they've done with our e-commerce platform, and maybe give you some ideas on some things that you can do. One of our customers is a company called Direct to MFG. It's Direct to Manufacturing. And what they do is they're a distributor of motorcycle aftermarket products. They sell primarily to motorcycle dealerships, and their real goal is to connect the aftermarket manufacturers with the dealerships. So they're sort of that distributor in between. Now, they do have a heavy mix of commerce and catalog sales, and it's pretty interesting what they've done, and we're going to talk a little bit about this here in a few slides, about how they've integrated their catalogs with their e-commerce. Marketing is absolutely everything to them. They're a distributor. Their value add is making those connections. They're also really big on that personal experience they have with their dealer customers. So one of the things that they've done with e-commerce is they've actually made this a remote, portable product catalog that their sales reps can take with them on the road on a tablet. So if I'm a sales rep for Direct to MFG, I have my tablet, I load up my e-commerce site, I log in as myself, the sales rep. I can go to my customer, I can look at their account, I can review previous sales orders with them, I can enter new items, show them pictures of the items, show them their specific pricing, I can save shopping carts for them, and place the orders online, which then obviously sync back into my accounting system. I move on to the next customer, I simply select that next customer, and again, I've got access to all their information online, and it's really a remote sales tool that my sales reps can use, and it's the same tool that my dealer customers can use to log in and place their own orders in a self-service kind of environment. So it's pretty cool how they're using this really as a remote sales order creation tool while they're on the road. A couple things that they've done here that I really like, give you some ideas on what you might want to do with your e-commerce site. The first is when you log in to their site as a dealer. Over on the right you see your recent orders. Pretty nice. You can see what's open, what's closed. You can click on an order and drill down. Maybe you want to reorder those items, add them to a new cart. The second is over on the left. They've added these 3 tabs, which are pretty important to them. They want their dealers to know what are the specials they're running, so they've created these categories for specials. What are the items they want to move because they're on closeout, and then any new items that they've added to their e-commerce site get moved into this new items tab, so you can kind of filter between those 3 see what's on special, what's on closeout, and what's brand new that I might be interested in stocking in my store. They've also taken it really to a next step, and they developed an app for a mobile device that you can download that you could actually access their product catalog on your phone. So that's just a couple different options for you there. A couple of the other elements of their site. Obviously, most e-commerce sites you're going to want to do promotions or maybe highlight certain aspects of your business or your product catalog. They do that with a very large, very visual image rotator at the top of the screen. They also have featured items that they pull out from time to time on the bottom of the screen. And then over on the right, they've got these little slide-out tabs, which are pretty cool. The one is for a quick order. If they have a dealer that knows that they need a certain product, they don't have to go through the full catalog. They know the item number. They have the catalog maybe in front of them. They can pull out that quick order tab, enter the item number, and basically process that order in just a few mouse clicks. The other thing they have there is obviously the contact form. If somebody wants to email them, they have a question about a product or an order, they don't have to pick up the phone and make a call. They can either do an email or they can access an online chat to be able to communicate with DirectMFG. Alright, so this is pretty interesting. This is where they're taking e-commerce really to the next level. They are still very focused on dealer catalogs, right? So the products that they're representing, the manufacturers of those products send them catalogs. They in turn will take these paper catalogs and drop them off at their customers or they'll email them to them. Okay? So they actually put all these catalogs on their site. And the dealers tend to keep these catalogs so that they can look through it, or maybe they have a customer that comes in that's looking for something that they're not stocking. They can look through the catalog and find out if it's available. Okay? What's interesting to me is you can go to their site as a dealer and you can visually see the catalog. So real quick, they can find the right catalog. And then from within the catalog, I'm going to show you here in the next slide, as they're going through the different pages in the PDF, they've inserted hyperlinks. So if I click on, for example, this little link down here, it's going to take them from the PDF in the catalog directly to the e-commerce site and put that item into a shopping cart basket. So they're going from a digital PDF into an e-commerce shopping cart. Really, really cool. It's really helped their orders significantly. The other thing that they've done is they've really focused on making the shopping cart experience as easy as possible. They have, as most sites do, full site search, so you can look for items, whether that's in the item title or whether it's in the item description. They also have multiple ways to segment down by category, by maybe a product product brand or product segment, to be able to narrow down what they're looking for. A couple other things that they've done here. One is they've optionally displayed or not displayed quantities. We have some customers that do show the quantity on hand. We have other customers that they don't want to show that they have nothing in stock because they're afraid nobody will order it. So instead, what they do is if there's no items in stock, which is obviously pulling from the back-end accounting system or ERP system, what they do instead is they show a low stock warning or limited quantity, order now. So that's kind of unique, and it'll really depend on what you want to do with your e-commerce site. They've done some things that a lot of our customers haven't. They've actually broken down the stocking location. So if you want to see how many of this item are available in the central warehouse, the east warehouse, or the west warehouse, and you know that it's going to get you faster from one of these, you can actually see which warehouse has that quantity, which is kind of cool. They also show, kind of unique to their business, the customer SLP and their dealers agreed upon price, so they can immediately kind of do some math there and figure out what their margin is on these products. Obviously, they've got photo thumbnails that they're displaying in the shopping cart, which open up into larger images if people want to take a look at the products that they're ordering. So that's some of the things that DirectMFG has done. They were kind of our case study here. We do have a couple other customers that are using the system a little differently. Two of them are related. Marcor Purification and Safety Pack are both companies owned by Cantel Medical, which is, I believe, a Fortune 500 company. Marcor is a manufacturer of water purification equipment, and they had some very unique e-commerce needs. We'll talk about those here in a minute. They had a sister company that does something similar to Marcor, but they're more in around packaging for medical, and they had some very unique requirements as well. So with Marcor, what they primarily do is they manufacture and distribute medical products around like water filtration. So their customers are typically in the medical field. And as you can imagine, they don't want a customer coming to their site and putting an order in if it happens to be something that's an emergency and they're going to run out of supply. So when you log into their e-commerce site, there's a series of different warnings and notifications that are available to you as the customer. The first one basically says, if this is a medical emergency, don't go through the e-commerce site, call us so that we can make sure that we get the products to you on time, the right products. Okay? So we have the capability of doing that within Anytime Commerce. Order multiples. They have little pop-up messages. If I end up, adding more than one item to my shopping cart, this little warning will come up and say this product requires special handling. The item sold as a case. A quantity of one is equal to the equivalent of one case, right? So then they can look and see how many of those units are in a case. So they're not having customers that are ordering 50 units, but in actuality they're ordering 50 cases and it's too much, right? So we're kind of preventing some errors there on the order entry side. The last one is that in their specific industry, there are certain items that are controlled substances and they cannot send too much of this at one time. So we've actually created some custom messages here and some rules on the shopping carts. This one here says you can only order a maximum of 2 of this item at a time. Please call if you require more. So this is kind of one of the things you're never going to find in an off-the-shelf e-commerce solution. But this is one of the benefits and one of the reasons why companies come to us is when you have these unique requirements, we can work with you to find the right solution, to build out the e-commerce site really for your business. It's tailored to your business for your customers and your specific requirements. Marcor also wanted to have categories, subcategories, and even subcategories of subcategories. They also added the ability to view items, the photos either in tiles or you can flip over and see a grid view. With Marcor and Safety Pack, we've also integrated with Avalara so you can get your sales tax calculations online. We've also integrated with different shipping systems so that you get your shipping rates, and we also have online package tracking. So if you're shipping via UPS or FedEx, we can capture that tracking number, and then when you log in to the inquiries, you can actually see the shipments, drill in, and find out where is that package. Another customer that we've done quite a bit of work for is a company called Inmar Marine Engines, and they're a manufacturer, probably one of the largest manufacturers worldwide of inboard marine engines, and they sell almost exclusively through a dealer network. And their dealers need to log in, not only order new parts or products for their showrooms, right, or for their customers. A lot of times their dealers are actually rebuilding engines or they're ordering replacement parts for engines they've already sold to a customer. So they've done some really cool things with Anytime Commerce that, again, you're not going to find out of the box in any other solution out there. One of the things we've done that's fairly unique to them is that they support both credit card and on-account sales. They happen to be a Sage ERP customer. So what we've done with them is we've actually tied in with Sage Payment Solutions for the credit card side. And they had this ancillary warranty system and they've actually been able, with some help from us, to be able to tie the warranty system into their e-commerce site. So as I'm shopping for parts, I can register an engine with them to basically create new warranty information. I can review warranty information, and I can actually process my renewals for warranties on their site. So this is one example of a page on their site today. One of the things that we did that's very, very unique to them, but could carry over into a lot of other industries, is when their dealers log in, let's say that they have a customer walks in the door, they need a replacement part for a particular engine that they bought 15, 20 years ago. They can find the VIN number or the serial number for that engine. They can then type that in at the top and click search, and that will then filter and bring up a list of all the parts that were related to that serial number or a VIN number. So that's kind of cool. So they don't have to worry about finding the right compatible parts. They've also had, obviously, a number of item attachments. The dealer login, you can see there at the top. When the dealer logs in, they can actually look at their various customers in the system. On account or credit card orders are also supported. And we show that up in the shopping cart. And then again, they've had that tie into their internal warranty system. Credit card integration was big for them for some of their smaller dealers that they didn't want to extend terms to. So we do support integration with Sage Payments. When the customer logs in, again, the business customer, we know who they are. They might have multiple ship-tos if they have multiple showrooms, so you're actually able to see the different ship-tos. And then you have various shipping methods, right? You might want to go UPS, FedEx, or some other method. We have that integration as well for them. eCommerce, and I wish I had a little bit more information on this. This is a project that we're working on currently that's going to be added to the standard product. That's going to be very, very cool. So what eCommerce does, they're already using our application, but they're taking it to the next level. They make these very specialized yard trucks. Okay, there's a picture of one here at the top. So what happens is a lot of times people need to order different parts, replacement parts or what have you for these yard trucks. What we're building for them is you'll go in, you'll enter a make, model, year for your yard truck or a VIN number, and then it's going to bring up a drawing of that truck, like a little diagram. And then if you click on different areas of that diagram, you can actually drill down into each of the components. So I might start with the yard truck itself. I click on that, and then I want to click on the engine components. So I click on the engine, and then that'll explode out into a diagram. And then maybe I want to look at like some sort of a battery assembly or what have you within that diagram, and it'll drill me down further into a specific drawing of that item. Then what it'll have is hyperlinks on all of the individual part IDs. So if I can find that part that I want to order, I simply click it and it's going to add it into my shopping cart for us. Having this functionality is going to be huge for a lot of different industries. Think about, if you're going to buy, parts for a washing machine, a dryer, for any commercial capital equipment, being able to drill down through these complex assemblies and sub-assemblies is going to really help your customers find the right product quicker. So this is something we're very excited to be able to be launching here very soon. We also have the ability to set different specials, different categories, subcategories, different looks and feels based on login to the site. This is just another example of something we've done where, if I'm selling coffee as an example, particular stores that might be logging in to place orders, I can have different items filtered and displayed based on their login. Just a couple other kind of general features of Anytime Commerce. It has a built-in content management system, so you can maintain the look and the feel of the site. You can build out your own web pages. They don't even have to be e-commerce pages. You could really use Anytime Commerce to build out your entire online presence. We have controls that you can add to pages for news feeds, contact forms, rolling banners, all kinds of different things that you can add into your site and your different pages. We also have the ability to maintain really the entire system online. So if you want to build your item categories, your item links, your customers, the integration back into your accounting system, all that can be managed online. You don't really need us to do the heavy lifting on that. Very, very tight integration with the back office. We can pull in item quantities, customer pricing, a lot of the inquiries we can pull in as well, invoices, statements, etc. And then obviously on the back end, we're creating the orders within the ERP system. So as your custom orders are coming in, we're creating them within your accounting system so that you can make it or buy it and distribute it, or really just go right to a pick, pack, ship method if it happens to be in stock. We also have customer self-service, as you would imagine, in the e-commerce side, where if I'm a customer, I log in, I can look at statements, invoices, payments, and again, my shipment information. So that's an overview of Anytime Commerce. Hopefully, this gave you a little bit of a feel for what the software can do and why a company might want to go with more of a custom, tailored e-commerce approach as opposed to something off the shelf. If you can find something off the shelf, it's probably going to be a little cheaper for you. If you're looking for something that's very unique to you, or you have some other very specific business requirements, contact us and we can help you really put together the right e-commerce solution. I encourage you all to transform your business today, to really take a good hard look at your e-commerce strategies, and contact us. We'd be happy to talk with you and see if we have the right platform with you, or if not, point you in the right direction. Again, my contact information is up on the screen, so go ahead, feel free to email me or give me a call, or visit our website at e2banytime.com. And that is going to conclude the webinar. I'd like to thank you all for taking time out, and hope to see you on a webinar in the near future. Take care. Bye-bye.